Yo, how's it going, everyone? It is that time once again. We are back for the Dokkan early stream. I'm having issues with my Dokkan phone currently, but we are here and we are live. How's everyone doing today on this Tuesday morning? Trace Genzo. Grace, I think you confused me last night when we said about like potential news today, because I was thinking about the LR, so I was thinking, oh yeah, because you know, if it's out Thursday, there's got to be details today, but I was thinking about the actual LR itself, which obviously we already got the details for already. Drace was betting people's souls in the second channel stream last night that we would get physical Turles EZA details today, which, I mean, if he's going to drop on the same day, then yes. Excuse me. If physical Turles is going to drop on the same day as, like, the EZA, is going to drop on the same day as the summonable LR, then I guess the news would be today, but yeah, for some reason my Dokkan phone didn't charge last night, even though it sat on the charging thing. So that's right, I got the private server up here now. So, although annoyingly, I think it still hasn't been. Yeah, we still don't have the cooler Super EZA. That's not going to get updated until Turles gets added now. Turles is cool, but I don't got the resources to summon on that, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the problem with yellow coin LRs, is sometimes yellow coin LRs come out and they are actually pretty cool. But it's just usually, with the time that they come out, like the time slots and everything in the calendar, it's almost terrible to summon on yellow coin LRs almost all the time. Like, and especially this one is because it's right before the TDC, so obviously we don't know what the TDC Part 1 Dokkan Fest LR is going to be, but chances are probably better than Turles. Can't summon him since I pulled on Metal Cooler's banner. I think I said it would be potential ECA details for physical Turles and his banner units. Yeah, Rowdo Bringer and James Bond's Soul. Because we were playing... Yeah, see, my phone, it's just died again. Like, it's not even... It's plugged into an actual physical cable and it's not even charging. So... That's... Bit of a yikes. Also, my charging pad thing itself is like the light is flashing on it, which is weird. Maybe that is why. I don't know. I'll put that on there for a bit and see what happens. Seeing Cooler Super EZA doesn't make you nervous about Super Sensory Broly again. Are your hopes the same since Reddit's EZA? Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to say because, yeah, my hopes are that Super Saiyan 3 Broly Super EZA gets the Raditz treatment. But yeah, now that we've seen Cooler, I mean, Cooler's not bad. Actually, the thing is, I like Cooler. I think he is good. They just made him into a floating support, which, I mean, the teams that he's on need good floating support, so I'm not, like, super mad about it, but... Yes, I don't know if I would use Metal Cooler on this team. The problem is you want to use physical final form Cooler on this team, and we don't have the EZA for him on here. He's better than AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, that is true. Yo, Kaida Ramos, how's it going? How goes the gaming? We do be gaming. Rexen, we're not entirely sure. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday morning UK time, depending on when that is for you guys. Cooler needed more. I'd argue he's currently more useful than the other 120 Elite Super EZAs. Yeah, because I mean, obviously the Super Saiyan 4s are like 6 months old at this point as well, so it's kind of, he should be more usable than them, but I'm gonna just stop summoning. The 17s don't want to show up for me. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea at this point. Actually, let me try out. I do want to try the Androids team because I don't have MVP 17. This is why I wanted the Part 2 LR to be a Super Android 13. So we could get a big buff for the Androids team. Because we got you. Then we got MVP 17. Hellfire 17. Mirror EZA. Who would the other one be? So yeah, bring a suffering from success out here. Complaining because he can only pull the Metal Cooler and not the old other featured unit that isn't good. Who else would we run on an Androids team now? I feel like if it's a boss that does a Ki Blast Super, you probably would still just run these guys, right? Because the rotations are going to be... well, I guess technically the rotation should be both the 17s, because then he 16 gets his unit super all the time. But obviously, ideally, I would want Mirror to be on rotation, but... Yeah, the tag. I guess technically the tag gammas are better. I just don't like the idea that they. I don't like if we're. I know it doesn't matter because they are on the Androids category, but if we're doing like a category team, like hey, I'm running an all Androids team. It's like running Vegeta Family and then using a bunch of cards that start off as Goku. You know. Yeah, so apparently it just won't charge off of this cable. I do have another one somewhere. Let's see if this one will do anything. What do I think of the Code Veronica trailer? I was very excited for Code Veronica remake. I'm going to run on Diamond Forku, Realm of God, and STR Blues. I'm going to set 100 million on turn 8 with the Goku side of the card. Tech UI, domain, go crazy. Stage 16 for the Metal Cooler about to hit us into the stratosphere, turn 1. Well, I was going to be doing those Metal Cooler stages as one of the things on the stream, but since I can't get my Dokkan phone to charge, which is kind of concerning. They all do Key Blast Supers, so that'd be kind of funny. I don't know if 16's good enough, though. It's the only problem. On the Metal Cooler active skill. Well, this is an interesting starting rotation. Typically in phase 1, Gohan doesn't have a Key Blast Super. So I have to use up our one turn of STR-17 being a guaranteed dodge character. But that's one of the reasons why that ability is so good, because if you get a bad rotation like this to start, you can just put him in slot 1 and he'll dodge everything. Let's just unplug that. I'm actually genuinely not sure what to do about this now, because yeah, it won't charge, which is concerning. I forget that 16 even has an intro. It sounds like a transformation device. let's see if 16 can actually survive. I probably should have just restarted with a different starting rotation, but... Hey Zig, how's it going? I'll have to try and sort it out after the stream, but fortunately, it's not the end of the world. It is, whilst it is very annoying, because if for whatever reason it won't charge and it is like dead or whatever, I can just transfer my account onto the like emulator. So. Oh yeah, that makes this really awkward, doesn't it? I guess I have to do that. Check, get rid of Trunks' attacks. So there are no attacks in slot 1. And then Gohan will be dead by the end of the turn. Which emulator do I run? It's one Prof told me about that I'd never heard of. It's called LD Player. But I have tried out, I have used Nox and BlueStacks in the past. Yeah, this Hellfighter 17 EZA, especially for like a World Tournament card, his EZA is pretty good. Super Saiyan 4 mirror. I like that he has the tough as nails link with 16. Like, it's not a good link generally, but because 16 has it, it works well for both of them. The fact that they've got it together. Omega got, so I had to use the Saiyan Saga team. Yeah, because obviously those stages have gotten progressively harder as they've come out, haven't they? The active skill. I use the double Marshal Vegeta and pray for EX supers. Is it really that bad? Let's have a look. Because what stage are we up to today? Is it 12? Because I've done the first 8. And yeah, I thought 12 would be out today. Well, that's super awkward, isn't it? Disables dodge. Oh, okay. $45 million. This is on like his best turn as well. And then 2 additional normal is good. Oh. I was about to say, MVP, the Hellfire 17 is pretty good when it comes to consistently dodging attacks, but... And there is no other way to run an Android 17 on the team for more unit supers for thingy, is there? Because these guys, well, because what is the actual wording of it? There's an ally whose name includes Android 17 or Android 18. Yeah, they should have EZA'd, these guys. I mean, technically these guys would be. I wonder if you could actually get away with using them anywhere, because I mean they have dodge after they attack, but it does need to give me a start though where we stop having both the Android 16s on turn 2 though. It's kind of awkward. Okay, that's better. That's more like it. Should have turned the animation thing off. Saiyan Saga team stomps it pretty hard. No, everyone has Vegeta and Nappa. Yeah. It's one of those, because they were one of those banners that was probably in most people's best interest to just skip. Both the MVP 17s on the first turn though, which is a bit annoying. That's right, they can't take damage from Goten's super anyway. AGL Master Vegeta with a nuke item and Bulma active did a 400 million super and nuked stage 12. Fair. Yeah, I imagine with items, a lot of the multi-enemy ones would be quite easy when it comes to just using an AoE character and then juicing them up. I forgot 16 was a unit. Exactly, I know, right? That's why I wanted the Part 2 LR to be a Android 13, so that like androids could get a buff. Androids is another one of those teams though now, like they've been doing this year, where the team needs like a whole celebration and just to get like gets multiple buffs. Because even like characters like the tech androids, like their EZA was good, but now, you know, them doing like 20 million attack stat is not really what we want. Yeah, so he does get his unit super from them, so them getting an EZA would be good. Because yeah, getting the unit super for 16 matters a huge amount as well, because his unit super is the one that gives multi-turn support, so that's why you want to try and have as many Android 17s or Android 18s on the team that can trigger his unit super, because it gives, like, if you have both the 16s on both rotations consistently getting their unit super, then you're getting a load of extra support. Gohan's still not dead, bruh. Look at these guys with their monster 6.8 attack stats. I was going to say, they build up dodge, don't they, with each attack that they do? I mean, 16 should be able to survive this super in slot 1. Get a full heal. Cool with Turles. I never expect much from Yellow Coin outside of Golden Week. Congrats, a strong unit. Yeah, I think that he's actually really good. And Goma could be featured. Yeah. Must be nice having the STR-17. Well, I mean, this is on the private server, so we have everything. But yeah, I do have the STR-17s. Any news about the LR Turles coming, especially the day of release? Not yet. I think it might be Thursday that it comes out, Thursday morning. So, in theory, there should be a data download tomorrow, which is why I'm not necessarily expecting there to be any news today, but there could be something. "13 is pretty shorted. He has nothing, like actually nothing." Yeah, because the AGL one is super old. I don't know if Goma's been back as a featured character on a yellow coin banner. It's funny, like Goten and Trunks have so much less health than Gohan as well in this first phase. It's actually a tough choice. I wanted Mirror to get his stacks, but then I remembered, like, it's important for 16 to get the unit super as well. Well, I probably shouldn't have done that. I just want Mirror to look good. Alright, so start off by doing this. I probably want to try and get rid of Gohan first, but grind 50 stones and do one more multi since it's the guaranteed featured step. I mean, at least you still have stones to grind. That's pretty good. So I need... We're probably not going to kill Gohan, are we? In one turn. But I guess we'll see what happens. Because, I mean, these guys could literally just get hit by A normal and then die. This is just a yellow coin banner. So, LR Metal Cooler is a Carnival banner. Carnival LR. STR LR Cooler is a Dokkan Fest LR. So, there is 0 chance that they will be on the banner. $56 million, that's not bad. Baby Possessed Bros. Have they not been back? They were available with yellow coins and with the last yellow coin LR though, because I bought them. Yo, Joe B, how's it going? I've still got no movement on this at all. Pulled my first King Cold and the SSR of Gohan and Piccolo. This game sucks. Bro, he's complaining that he can't pull one old featured unit saying this game sucks when he's pulled multiple Metal Coolers. Like, unfortunately for most people, it is trying to get the new main unit, but unfortunately that is kind of the thing when you summon. Like, you're not... If there's one specific unit that you want, like, it's very rare that you're actually getting them. Super 17 was another Super 17 fumbled from the start. Yeah, not particularly great. Yeah, give me your units, you don't deserve them. Bro gets the craziest luck for the new units and then still has the audacity to say, oh, I hate this game, when he doesn't get one of the random old unfeatured characters. That's mad behaviour. Featured on the last one was Goma Return banner. Yeah, because I did get a copy of Goma as well. I guess of the baby bros, have they returned another time already? Because why were they available with yellow coins if they weren't back on the banner? Well, I guess technically they were in the unfeatured. They were unfeatured. So Janemba LR, Jiren Full Power. Unfortunately, both of those are very, very outdated at this point. I had to buy Magoma with coins. I bought a copy because I wanted to have the second dupe so I could have the gold slot. Because obviously Goma is very good. Mira is very good as well. I really wanted one of them to super. They're both supering in slot 1, which means that like the tech androids are just invincible basically. It's kind of funny. The only problem is if you put him in slot 2, doesn't he not have guard? No, he just doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have the damage reduction. He gets extra defense and gets an additional super, but he's not going to have damage reduction, so... Do I have to do this? Maybe? And we're getting near the end, so I guess floating off the 16 isn't the end of the world. But yeah, these guys, obviously, they're both supering in slot 1, and the tech androids are immune to Key Blast supers, so it seems kind of the smart thing to put them in slot 1. Yo, Arandy, how's it going? I missed the days. I was excited about Dokkan. I mean, it is a slow period at this point. I mean, Teles is cool, but unfortunately, being a yellow coin LR, probably an easy skip for most people, or should be an easy skip. Wallet Chan. I mean, yeah, it's a bit. I was surprised. He said I might go grind 50 stones, and then almost instantly, 30 seconds later, had already done another multi. So I'm not sure how he grinded 50 stones that quickly. If by grind you just mean accept a bunch of the ones from the gift box as well, potentially. He's still not dead. Kill him. 16. I accepted all my mission stuff. Right. That's what I thought. Because when you said grind stones, I thought you meant like you had stages to go play or something. Didn't realize the Dokkan attack was so close. Look at Mira's defense. Look at this guy. 5 million defense. He doesn't have the damage reduction because he's not on a crossover team, but damn. Also, I don't know how long this is in play for, but actually it'll still be in play now. So he's got 15% damage reduction and 5 million defense. I'm sleepy. I want to soon see the Nintendo Direct in 5 hours. See ya. Hey, no worries, Joe B. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, Mira got a very good EZA. The only thing that's annoying about him is his additional super is just the chance to be an additional super. So it's additional super or nothing. Whereas the wording that is better is the one where it's like additional attack that has a chance to be a super. Because then even if it isn't a super, they'll still do a normal. And then that means they get an extra chance to proc the hidden potential. And as Mira is a stacker, you want him to super attack as many times as possible. So get 52 million. And 54. And there's the hidden potential, but it's only a normal. It's very possible that the 17s just die at the end now, though. Because there was always a risk bringing them on the team, to be fair. We still didn't even get to the point where they could transform into Super 17. I forgot what their transformation condition even is, but we didn't even get there. Yeah, Vegeta's been getting a lot of love so far this year, which is cool. Yeah, of course. They just immediately took a normal from Goten for like 3 million. It's low HP, I think. Yeah, I'll have to double check. Damn it, we'd have won that run if it wasn't for them as well. What is it? Yeah, HP is 70% or less from the 5th turn. Which I guess that's the problem with the Android team. This Android team is quite tanky and has healing, so it's very difficult to get that. Yeah, see, there won't be a tournament participants ally. So that's the thing, on like a pure Android team, like STR Cell isn't even good. I mean, should I just be using him or Gamma too? Because I guess if Gamma, they would be floating anyway. Yeah, Mira was super easy to get as well, yeah, because he's a super old character. He's been unfeatured in banners for like almost 10 years. And then they gave out the stones so you could get extra copies of him anyway. Yeah, I had the 17's Rainbow already and I've got like 2 spare copies, so at least if they get a good EZA, and I need to change their hidden potential slightly, I can. Yeah, I've always got to try and kill Gohan first, because Gohan gets a massive buff if Goten or Trunks die, but Goten and Trunks get a debuff if one of the other one just dies. So, always got to try and kill Gohan first. And 16 had potential, but that's what I mean. This is why I wanted it to be 13. Because you get, imagine one really good Android team character that gives like Android allies like 10% damage reduction, like Super Saiyan 4 Goku or something. And then on rotation with 16, 16 would actually be like a very good slot 1 tank. The only problem is that character, ideally, if you're going to want to then run them on rotation, is ideally you'd want that character to be a 17 or 18 so that they also get they also trigger 16's unit super, but can't have everything, I guess. Wow, he tanked that way better. I assumed I put him there hoping he would just dodge, but he tanked that way better than I expected. The STR MVP 17, taking like 300k from the AGL super attack. That's not bad. Take that. Yeah, Gamma 2, when he decides to pop off, can put out a lot of damage. This was more of a mixed turn, but still pretty good. $16 had potential if the Bio Broly fight didn't exist and destroy the slot. Yeah, like he came out and then the difficult event that got a Android's mission was a crazy hard hitting slot 1 boss that stuns you. Meaning 16 didn't get to then get his super off and get the buff and like do the unit super and all that kind of stuff. Android's getting to kill Gohan from a different timeline this time. And both of these guys have Ki Blast supers, so even if they super at the end against the tech androids here, it's not going to do anything anyway. They do have a lot of extra links, but I floated off the other ones and I really want to have the unit super be active like all the time. Metal Cooler fight being hard makes me happy. The dodge cancelling helps since most new units need dodge. Wait, which one? The Gamma 2. No, after he came out was underrated. His damage was like god tier. I mean, even on release, like both the gammas were super good. Right, if there is going to be any news today, by the way, it should be in 3 minutes. So we will see. I'm not expecting any, but there could be something. Take that, Truth. Where's your dodge now? Was it one of the... I guess I'm going to get the unit super anyway. Just double check how much Trunks super attacks for. Okay, yeah, it's a lot more than... Timing is just so awkward with like when you have like a stacker on the team but they're not your slot 1. Yo, Christopher, how's it going? Noticed some people upset with Turles, not sure why. I like him. Yeah, I think he's really good. I was hoping you would do a reaction for the new Code Veronica remake on the second channel. I didn't even think about it, to be honest, like, because we watched the State of Play, or so Summer Games Fest, but it was at like, it was on at like 10 PM UK time, so I watched it in the evening. I mean, to be fair, like, with that kind of, I would do a reaction. I'll probably do a video when there's like another trailer that has more like gameplay and stuff, because realistically, the trailer itself, like, it didn't really show like anything, so. Oh my god, all of these guys. Okay, so this is where things can start to get a little bit fun with this team, right? Because we start popping off our active skills. I guess we do want... Well, 16 has guards, so it doesn't really matter. Then the androids can get rid of Trunks' attacks. And then we'll break down his damage reduction a little bit. No news. Wait, never mind, it just popped up. Oh, it's an upcoming content thing. Oh, we're getting Supreme Magnificent Battle, the Tree of Might. So they've been doing that, like they did the Battle of Gods one last time. So I wonder, is it going to be like, is it just going to be like 2 stages and one's against Goku and one's against Turles? Or... Oh, more quest stages are coming out already as well. That's pretty good. Oh, nice Key Blast super. Shame if somebody had a barrier. Also, I think it's very cool, like, overly cool for a 19-inch row. The fact that their super attack is called Bionic Punisher. That sounds awesome. So who gives him the most attack? That's 158. Yeah, so you give him the most attack. Bro, like everyone's super attacking in slot 1. You watch him still die anyway. No Turles, it's Supreme Magnificent Battle, so superclass opponents. Well, like the 3 Great Super Saiyans Blue Zone where you fought Majin Vegeta. Or the, what was it, when we had the Universe Survival Saga Blue Zone and you fought 17 and Golden Frieza, who are an extreme unit. I wonder if it can't only be one stage though, surely. Yeah, the data download will tell us if it's limited or not, because the missions will have a start and end date. But the data download probably won't be till tomorrow now. I say probably, it almost certainly won't be till tomorrow. But if the news for upcoming content thing is now, which it is because it's just happened, that means that the data download is probably tomorrow. For superclass opponents in the same stage. Well, no, my point is the stage is the bosses versus Majin Vegeta, and he's an extreme character. That's all I'm saying. If that is actually the reason, and Blue Zone is only supposed to be superclass, but you can still have extreme class enemies in there. I didn't know that, and that's fair enough, I guess. But yeah, like, seems weird that the Great Super Saiyans one was against Majin Vegeta as the main boss. Like, at the end of the day, Dokkan does what Dokkan does. There could be a random extreme one in there somewhere, but... Because what is the actual... Yeah, because I guess the stage is just called Versus Vegeta, and he starts off as Superclass. And if the thingy one was to be Versus Turles, then obviously he would start off as Extreme. So, I guess it wouldn't really make sense for, like, the Tree of Might to be fighting a Superclass character and then Turles in the same stage. Who are the fights going to be then, other than Goku? I guess... Well, Turles absolutely annihilates Piccolo, right? Great Ape Gohan, maybe? And they just do it because it's Vegeta. Fair enough. When they have characters like Vegeta and Beerus, Dokkan throws logic out the window. Oh yeah, look, Gamma 2, another character that also negates Ki Blast supers. Yeah, the Z fighters were also kinda there. That's true. Double check their supers again. Oh yeah, Gohan supers for like 12 million. Bruh. That feels like maybe a bit much. Hey Joel, how's it going? Hey, what's your Yamcha be a boss? Good morning everyone. The new LR told Raldo I'd summon because he has damage reduction and guard. He said that's not a good reason. I mean, there isn't a good reason to summon for him just for that. Like, unless you have the new Metal Cooler or you have like a really good movie boss like Space Traveling Warriors team, you definitely should not be summoning for the Part 2 LR. Have I put him in slot 1 yet? I actually can't remember if I've done it now. Did I do it in that previous turn? Can't remember if I ended up doing it or not. There's too many tech orbs. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's a pure Saiyan, but you have to read his passive. It's like he's a pure Saiyan, but he won't be like super good on pure Saiyan teams. He wants to have Terrifying Conquerors allies. Or Space Traveling Warriors, but most of the Pure Saiyan characters that you could run him with on a Pure Saiyan team won't trigger his intro animation. Won't get buffed by his domain. His domain debuffs superclass characters. So if you run him with a bunch of superclass Saiyans, he actually makes them weaker. Alright, well 16 took damage, but not a crazy amount, so we should be fine now. Finally getting the W with the androids team. The only info that dropped was the there's a thing about info on upcoming content. Metal Cooler not being on Space Traveling Warriors. Yeah, him not being on Space Traveling Warriors makes no sense. You could argue that the planetary destruction is the fact that it's the big Getty star that eats the planets and not actually Metal Cooler himself. But he absolutely should be on Space Traveling Warriors. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Charles straight up lied to us in Raldo's stream. He said he researched on LR Turles, but actually didn't. Yeah, that sounds believable enough. Yeah, when receiving an attack, he gets 250% extra defense. So bear in mind, and he currently has 5 million. So when he gets hit, he actually has like 12 million defense. It's pretty funny. How much does Android 16 hit when he gets hit? 160. And he has guard. I was going to say, Mirror actually tanks, like, better than 16 now on this turn. This is Dabura's intro. I thought this was going to be one of Metal Cooler's ones. Yeah, no, he doesn't need an extreme ally. It has to be a space traveling world. Well, like, obviously the allies that will fit his thing, most of them are extreme, but Dokkan considers Metal Cooler his own person for some reason. Yeah, the planet that they're on travels through space, like the big gay star travels through space, but not specifically Metal Cooler. Gamma 2 going to finish him off? No, Gamma 2 didn't get another additional. Oh, well. I'm going to finally get the GG, and 16 gets to kill him then. Maybe. He should be getting crits though, so he should. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, that is true. Because, like, Bojack and his crew are space pirates. So they travel through space on a spaceship. So they're not, yeah, so they're not flying through space themselves. But apparently them flying through space on a spaceship is fine. But Metal Cooler flying through space on, like, a weird robot planet, that doesn't count. Makes perfect sense. What do you mean? There you go, finally. Alright, let's get this news thing up here then. Right, so move the news thing over here. Get the other blue zone things up. Close that. Very lame all the people hating on new God of War game just because it's a female. Yeah, that happens every time. Every time a franchise gets a new game and there's like a female character instead of a male character, all the online losers get mad about it. That's the thing, it's not like Kratos is being forever replaced in God of War. It's just a spin-off with a story about what happened to his wife, considering she was like a main character in the story about the beginning, like the beginning of the PlayStation like ones. Well, they're all on PlayStation, but you know what I mean, like the new gen ones. It's like a big part of the story that at the beginning his wife is dead, and now they're doing a spin-off game that's like about what happened to her. So it's just, if you love God of War, it's, and like you love the hype and you love the story and like the universe and the lore and everything, it's just an expansion of the God of War universe. But people instantly jump on the like, oh, they've made the main character a woman now. It's like, I'm sure if they want to continue the God of War franchise, there will still be another God of War game that has Kratos in it, right? Well, no, let's be very, very serious. Not everyone, because I would never say that, but there, if you want to say people, there are no people hating it just because it's a female. Obviously, that's ridiculous. Like, unfortunately, just like when Kale and Khalifa came out and were the best unit in the game, and some people wouldn't accept it, like, some people are only mad that it's a woman. Like, that is just literally true. I've seen it. I've seen the comments. Like, and that's the thing. It's not everyone, but unfortunately, that just is true. That there are some people that are only mad that it's a woman. Because the combat looks cool. Like, there was a quote from like the guy that made God of War, the original ones apparently, but didn't make the PlayStation ones, saying that God of War is supposed to be about like combat and stuff. But like the combat in the trailer looked really good. So yeah, it's like, who cares if it's a female character? But yeah, unfortunately, that just has been a thing for years. Yeah, it's like we talk about all the time with like the Twitter community, even with Dokkan. It's like the vocal minority that wants to be negative. Like, I would never say, oh, all the people that don't like it, it's because it's a woman. Like, that would be stupid. But it's also stupid to say nobody is saying they don't like it because it's a woman. Like, unfortunately, the truth is like it's somewhere in the middle. But excited for Fable. Yeah, we saw the trailer for Fable. That looks cool. There's a couple of recognizable like character, like British comedians and stuff in there that it would be quite fun that they're all in it. I mean, there was a lot of recognizable British like people, voice actors in the original ones as well. Was Stephen Fry the narrator for the first one? I actually can't remember. Yeah, I don't understand why people. Why do so many people hate the cube? Has nobody seen like the gelatinous cube from D&D? Like, that's been a thing for years. Like, I've seen loads of people like complaining about that, but like, that's a thing in D&D, the gelatinous cube. Like, yeah, exactly. It's an expansion of the universe where you're playing as another character who has already previously been mentioned and not just made up out of nowhere. Like, and like I said, I would be absolutely not surprised at all if like the next God of War game, whenever that is going to be, is back to being Kratos again. Like, also, the other thing is we don't know anything about the story. Like, we don't know the because I'm not entirely sure where that character is supposed to be, like what realm that's supposed to be. But like, God of War, obviously the original ones were based on very specific, like the Greek mythology. Then obviously the newer gen PlayStation ones moved into like Norse mythology stuff. But at the end of the day, the games are all about mythology, stuff that doesn't actually exist with like magical powers and stuff. So like adding in other fantasy characters and creatures that aren't from a specific mythology, I don't understand why that's an issue. Like, it's just a spin-off story about what happened to Kratos' wife. Oh. Alright, right, so let's get this up here. Yeah, I thought the combat in the trailer looked fun. Like those kind of combat God of War type games that have all the like fluid chaining combos and like jumping up in the air, throwing the enemies up in the air, like all that kind of stuff looks cool. Some of the attacks with the sword, because it has the like ribbon on the end, so you can like pull it towards you and swing around and all that kind of stuff, look really cool. Stephen Fry was Reaver in Fable 2, that's it. People say the ribbon belongs to the Chinese mythology. Okay, that's cool. Well, that's the thing, we also don't know what it's building up to, because what it would be kind of funny if it's a massive bait and switch, and like you switch to Kratos like halfway through the game. But that's the thing, we also don't know where the future of the story is going. Like, we could have this adventure, and then the next game is Kratos going to that realm as well, because he finds out that that's where she is. Like, the thing, when it comes to things like the story, the setting, the mythology, and all that kind of stuff, like you can't make snap judgments based on nothing, which we have, like the trailer. Like, we don't know where the story's gonna go. So saying like, oh, it's all about this other thing that we don't care about, it's like, well, we don't actually necessarily know that 100%. But yeah, that is true as well. Like, if you care about, some people only care about Kratos, which is fine, but I guess it depends how much you want to interact with the world. Because it's like people saying, oh, they've made a spin-off Dragon Ball movie, but it's not about Goku. Well, I don't care. Goku's the main character. I only care about Goku. Like, if you like Dragon Ball as a whole, like if you like the entire mythos of God of War, the idea of a separate branching story that explores a different character, there's nothing wrong with that. It might not be what you specifically want, but like... But that's the other thing as well, is even saying God of War is Kratos' story. Well, yeah, and this is a branching story about his wife, who is the mother of... I've forgotten his name now. Is it Atreus? I can't remember what his name is. So she's like a pretty important part of Kratos' story. And again, we don't know where her story is then going to go to. So I think just like getting super mad about it straight away is wild. I'm not saying anyone here is like being super mad about it, but obviously because it's the internet, some people are. But yeah, I imagine there are a lot of people out there who very much enjoy the lore and the world building and stuff of God of War, who are interested to see a branching story about what happened to his wife. Because she only really gets mentioned, well, she gets mentioned obviously more than once, but like I said, it's at the beginning of the... Which one's the first one? Is it? No, the second one was called Ragnarok. What was the first one called? I can't even remember now. But yeah, it gets mentioned right at the beginning that she's dead. And like Kratos and his wife and his son, they mention her, and there's like they have an argument about her at some point fairly early on, I think. But yeah, she's still a main character in the story. Laufey is mother of Loki and even threw hands with Thor. Yeah, because that's the name of the game, isn't it? I recognise that name. Because remember in Marvel, the reason why I recognise the name is because Loki, technically, when they find out that he's actually a part frost giant, his name, like Thor, is Thor Odin's son. Loki is Loki Laufey's son. So in the Marvel version of Norse mythology, Laufey is like the king of the frost giants. And considering the game is called that, and that name in and of itself is a tie to Norse mythology. So yeah, all I'm saying is we have literally no idea like where it's going, like where the story is going. Like I say, Kratos could even be in it at some point. Even if you don't play as him, like, could even be in it. The first one, oh, okay, it was just called God of War. That's why I can't remember the subtitle, because it's just called God of War. Yeah, so it's just called God of War, but it is technically God of War 4. And then Ragnarok is the one after that, and is technically God of War 5. Yeah. Yeah, big titles like that, especially like console exclusive ones. I mean, the thing is, the outrage online will just generate more publicity. So the game absolutely will not flop, because there'll be a crowd of people that will buy it just to spite the people that are saying that they don't like it. There'll be people that buy it because they don't care who the character is or whatever, and they just like playing those sort of, like, I don't want to say button mash, because there is skill to the combos and stuff, but like fast-paced combat type games. And then there's obviously people who, just before it comes out, or even when it comes out, will then start seeing the clips of people streaming it and playing it and posting like clips of some of the crazy fights and stuff, and then those people will go, oh, that actually looks really good, and then get it. So considering it is a big, like, mainline Sony like title, I think it's probably almost impossible that it flops. And you'll get a bunch of people who, and I guarantee, again, this is not to generalize, this is, again, the small vocal minority, there will absolutely be people out there who will see, like, you know, the third trailer or whatever, however many trailers they put out. They'll put out a trailer right before it comes out, and there will be those people out there that will see that last trailer, and somewhere deep inside, they'll be like, oh, actually, this does look kind of cool. But they'll still be like, no, I've said I hated it, so I'm not going to get it. Like, unfortunately, those people will still exist as well, even though it will also be a minority. But a lot of people will see those later trailers and go, oh, this does actually look pretty cool, and then they'll just get it. It's kind of like Dokkan when we talk about the things like the alternate art banners. And then there's just always going to be those people that will always summon on them anyway, regardless of, like, everyone on Twitter saying, we shouldn't support this, like, nobody summon. And then everyone, like, all the whales and stuff summon on it anyway. People have issues because it's not what they want. People had an issue with Yusuke in Assassin's Creed, which is crazy because he's an actual historical character as well, which I thought was wild. Because Assassin's Creed has always been featuring the, like, historical characters, but in, like, an interesting twist, like Leonardo da Vinci being a guy that made inventions for Ezio and stuff like that. Like, I think that's really cool that they tie in that kind of stuff. But yeah, it looks cool. I imagine we'll probably get it, because even though I haven't finished the other two PlayStation ones, I know Little Blue's played them both, because that's why I can play them, because we share games on PlayStation. So we'll probably end up getting it, and I'll probably stream it. So I guess we'll see when it comes out how good it actually is. But I think it looks cool from the trailer. I also knew I recognised the woman who is his wife, and I couldn't remember where from until I saw a Daredevil meme the other day. But it's the girl who's like the female lawyer in Daredevil. Because it's Daredevil, his friend Foggy, who I can't remember who his actor is, and then the other girl, the one who keeps trying to help the Punisher in the TV series. She's the woman that is Kratos' wife. People hated Assassin's Creed because it was a Japan setting and the main character was Japanese. Well, one of the main characters. There were two main characters. There was a Japanese woman and then Yusuke, who, I mean, I guess technically wasn't Japanese, but like he's a real historical character who was a slave who was brought to Japan and then became a samurai who fought for Nobunaga, who's one of the most famous like Japanese shogun. So even though technically he's not Japanese, but he's a very important like Japanese historical figure in like samurai culture. And and then the other main character was Japanese. Right. Well, that's the thing. I guess it depends what it is, though. This is the thing. Like, there's a difference between when you say, I'm not a fan of insulting part of the fan base just because they don't like something. You're okay to not like something, but you kind of need to have a reason. Like, if you say, I don't want a female in my God of War game, it's like, well, why not? So it'd be fine if it was a spin-off story, but it wasn't a female. That's the thing. If someone just says, I don't want a female in my God of War game, it's like, well, why not? It's all right to say, like, I guess you have to word it differently, because I know you mentioned before, if you're just saying, if it's a God of War game, I just want it to be Kratos, that's fine. But if somebody words it as, I don't want it to be a woman in my God of War game, then it is kind of like, side-eye? Like, if you're just saying specifically it has to be nobody other than Kratos, that's fine. But, yeah, like, if somebody does just straight up say, I don't want it to be a woman, then that's a bit like, well, why not? Does it matter? Like, I mean, to be fair, people would complain if they made a spin-off game that was all about Atreus. But I mean, maybe it'd be better if he was older, because he was kind of annoying in the first one, from what I've played so far. But I mean, he is just a kid who's lost his mum, and his dad is a gruff, angry man. So I mean, he's probably not in the most emotionally stable part of his life. But if they made a spin-off game about Atreus, there would be a bunch of people that were annoyed just because it wasn't Kratos. But I suppose it's one of those things. It kind of, the argument, it devolves into various, it can go off into various branching paths, because it's like, it's a long-standing franchise and Kratos has been the main character. So basically what you're saying is, which is an argument that some people do make, which is fair, that if God of War franchise is to continue, it just has to keep being the same thing. It just has to be Kratos, because it's always been Kratos. If they want to make a God of War game that branches off in a different direction while still being in the same universe, about the same characters that have already been mentioned but not Kratos, they're not allowed to do that, and they have to call it something different, even though they are the ones that make it and own it, and it's still in the same universe and still follows the same story. Because that's one of the things that people don't like sometimes, is when a franchise is just the same thing over and over again, and it's the same character over and over again, and they don't do anything different. And then when they do try and do something different, then you get a bunch of people saying, no, we don't want you to do it different. It has to be the same guy again. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's all right to devil's advocate the argument as well. I'm not saying this as well, a specific thing against any specific person or anything, but there are various different ways. Why does this keep disappearing? I mean, it doesn't even really matter what's on the screen. We're not even talking about Dokkan at this point. I hope you guys are enjoying this Dokkan stream where we talk about God of War. But yeah, that also feels kind of crazy. I know with God of War it's slightly different, because the same guy that made the first game didn't make the PlayStation 4 one. So, ownership and the rights and stuff have kind of changed hands. But that does seem kind of wild, because, one of the ways to interpret that argument, because I know you're not, specifically saying this, but, for what Dark FE is saying, that's if I make a series of games, let's say I made games, and I make a series of games that people really like, that all follow one character, and then I decide for the next game in the series, that character's going to take a backseat, or maybe even not be in it at all, and we're going to explore one of the other characters that was mentioned in one of the previous games, and it's all set in the same universe, and there'll be references to the other character and stuff like that. And then I release the trailer for that game, and a bunch of people are like, why is it not the same main character again? if you want to make a game again about a different character, you have to call it something else. And then I'm like, but this is my universe that I created. This is my franchise. I'm just like, we're just exploring a different character in this game. Like, don't worry, I'm sure I'll make another one where the other guy comes back again. But like, this is, you know, this is about somebody else in this one, but it's still the same franchise. The idea, like, that's the thing. It's okay for people to not like that if they don't like it. But for them to say, no, it has to be the same guy or you have to call it something else. It's like, I don't know about that. Right. That exactly. That's where people. That's where the sussiness like comes in. When people, if your first thought is, why is the main character a woman? That's why it's sus. But this is why I said, like, to be clear, if your first thought, if the thought is, why is it not Kratos, and you would have thought that even if it was a man, that's different. But it's the fact that there are people that are like, well, why is it a woman, right? And to pretend that those people don't exist is silly. But also to pretend that everybody who doesn't like it is because of that is also silly, which is not what I would ever say. Oh, but that's the thing, is it's absolutely, if you don't like the look of it, like if I did that and I changed the direction of my franchise, it's absolutely your right to not buy it if you don't want to. But you also can't say you shouldn't be allowed to do that. You have to do it this way, even though it's like your franchise. You can not like it. Why is it sus? Well, I just said exactly why it was sus. If your thought is, why is it not Kratos? That's fine. If your thought is, why is it a woman? And you wouldn't have thought that if it was a man who wasn't Kratos. That's what's sus. If you're just saying, why is it not Kratos? Because I'm not saying, again, that you're saying that. If your thought is, well, why is it not Kratos? That's one thing. But if the thought is, well, why is it a woman in general? Whereas if it was a not Kratos man, you wouldn't think that. Then that's what's sus, is what I'm saying. And unfortunately, as I say, there are some people that are like, even if they wouldn't say it specifically like that, there are people out there that's like, well, if it wasn't Kratos but it was some other man, it would be fine. But again, that's not everybody who doesn't like it, obviously. Yeah, Boruto is horrible. That is a terrible... But that is the thing that a lot of franchises have done as well. Yeah, but that's... And yeah, those people are stupid as well. Like, anyone who's saying anyone who doesn't like it, it's because they're sexist. Those people are stupid as well. Like, there's a lot of stupid people on both sides of the argument about... Like, whenever a franchise has a new main character, whether it's a male or a female, whenever a franchise has a new main character or a new focus character, it doesn't even necessarily mean main character, focus character for this game, there'll always be people on both sides that are being dumb. But people have to understand the creators have a story. Sometimes, to better explain it, you have to do things differently. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, again, what if this is a story about what happens to her? Some kind of thing is revealed that will affect Kratos, or is going to affect the goings-on in the world where Kratos and Atreus are during the events of that game. And then the game ends with them all being reunited at some point in potentially even a different plane. That is then... all the information that's been revealed during this new game is relevant to what's going to happen then. And then it's back to Kratos, potentially with her as a side character or a support character or whatever. And they now have to, the ultimate goal is to stop whatever plan was put into motion in this game. It's all just expanding the lore of the universe more. It's like how Resident Evil jumps back and forth between like various different characters. It's not quite the same because you didn't play as the same one for like multiple games in a row. God of War chats and stupidity on both sides of the argument. I mean, that's the thing again, yeah, like it wouldn't be the same people, but there's people are always going to complain about everything. Remember, that's like the classic thing we say about Dokkan. But like if they brought out another God of War game with Kratos, some people would say, yeah, like, oh, well, his story was meant to be done. This is now just dragging out more like Kratos, and potentially the story, like they would not find the story as compelling or whatever. Who knows? Like people are always going to complain about everything, but plus, I would imagine, like, I'm not saying the story of those games were bad at all, but people who played, like, the original God of War PS2 games, I think most people really only played it because it was a super good action game at the time when console games were still... Obviously, PS2 was one of the, like, the beginning of, like, the golden era for gaming that wasn't PC gaming. I mean, I guess you could argue PS1, but, like, PS2 was when it started to become a lot more mainstream, like, gaming, and console gaming in particular. But yeah, I imagine not a lot of people played God of War or even God of War 2, like back in the PS2 days. I imagine a lot of people didn't play those games because they cared about the story. Not to say that the story wasn't good, but I don't imagine that was the main reason why a lot of people played it. The story was cool as well, to be fair, but from what I know of it anyway. That's the thing I was kind of expecting, and that was one of the things that was rumoured for a while, the like potential Egypt like mythology thing, because they already crossed over into Norse mythology. So a lot of people were kind of hoping or expecting a potential crossover into like Egypt stuff, which would have been cool. Right, so I can't remember who actually even brought up the God of War thing, but I was meant to be recording a video about the news thing, and now we're getting close to the end of the stream, so seeing people like Afro say they couldn't see a God of War without Kratos and change their minds after seeing the trailer. I mean, it's one of those things, like, franchises eventually move on to, like, the next generation or, like, other characters as well. And sometimes it's done really badly, like Boruto was the example. Sometimes it's done well. It kind of just depends. And yeah, so many games came out after the first God of War that basically just copied what God of War does. Like, that type of combat and everything. Light attacks, heavy attacks, finishers when they're on low HP and all that kind of stuff. Like, a lot of games then built off of that, and I played a lot of games that were like essentially like God of War clones, like back in the day. Right, so anyway, I should do this video because it's not going to be very long, because it's not like there was tons of news, but so let's put on one of these OSTs that's then just going to play in the background. Hey guys, Marstengen here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so today we did get some brief bit of news, the information on upcoming content announcement, which gives us a little bit of information about stuff that is going to be coming out. We don't have any news yet on the actual release time of the Part 2 LR of Turles. We should, with the information on upcoming content announcement being today, should get the data download tomorrow now. And that will let us know the exact time that the banner is going to release. So I guess it's a case of waiting until then. However, the data download should also give us some information on missions and stuff like that that will come along with this content. And one of those things is going to be very, very important to see, because it will let us know a big thing that has been, you know, a big topic in the community. So the first thing you can see is we're getting a new Supreme Magnificent Battle RE, the Tree of Might. So bear in mind that we just got the Battle of Gods one as part of the Beerus and God Goku celebration. One of the things that we talked about on the stream is that I didn't even really pay attention to this, but Supreme Magnificent Battle is basically for super class enemies, and Red Zone is for extreme class enemies. There is a little bit of mixing around sometimes, like we've had a blue zone where you fight Frieza and 17 who are extreme. The 3 Great Saiyans one you fought Majin Vegeta, but he started off as normal superclass Vegeta. So that's the thing you have to think about for this, is if we're going to get a Tree of Might Supreme Magnificent Battle, obviously you can see the Goku here from like the LR art, so he's going to be one of the bosses, but Turles probably isn't going to be, or the Crusher Core, because they are extreme. So I don't think we'd get one with just one stage. That would be kind of crazy. So the other ones are either going to be like the Z Fighters, because I mean, I know they're in it, but they obviously get crushed fairly easily at the beginning. I guess they could be stage 1. Piccolo, because obviously I think he does okay against the Crusher Core guy, right? But then obviously he just gets destroyed by Turles. I could see Gohan being one, like Grey Ape Kid Gohan, especially because we are expecting physical Turles to get his EZA in this part 2. And obviously, hopefully they update his intro condition to make it slightly easier to get. But pre-EZA, his intro condition is pretty much only triggered by fighting. Well, it is a Goku family ally or an ally whose name includes like Kid Gohan. So if one of these stages was a Kid Gohan, even if they fumble terribly and don't change physical Turles' intro with his EZA, at least that would be one stage where he would be super good. And then obviously the last one would be against Tree of Might Goku. So I could see there maybe being, I mean, this one only had 2 stages, which I wouldn't have expected. So I guess like at a bare minimum, it would be a Kid Gohan maybe and Goku. And then I could imagine Piccolo for 3 stages. And then if they really want to push it, the Z Fighters for like 4 stages. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. Then we have a Seriously Serious All Out Battles 2, stage 8. So this one will be, of course, versus Turles, and you will get 7 free tickets to summon for the Part 2 LR Turles, as well as a bunch of other missions and stuff as well. This obviously doesn't really come as a surprise, because all premium releases now, like Dokkan Fests, Yellow Coin LRs, like we get one of these Seriously Serious stages with a bunch of missions where you fight the new character, and obviously one of the rewards is tickets to summon on the banner. There's also always a bunch of other missions, usually one for type disadvantage, so there'll be a mission for beating the stage with a full AGL team because Turles is tech, as well as a bunch of other stuff, a specific category, beating it in a certain number of turns, all that kind of stuff. So you can get a bunch of free stones and some free summon tickets out of this as well. And then interestingly, we also have another update to the quest mode. We only got the first 4 stages of Area 41 not that long ago, so this is pretty cool. Obviously with the last one, we didn't get any further update on whether or not we were going to be getting the next stage of Awakening for Turles, or not Turles, Chaozu. There you go. The free-to-play Chaozu that potentially is going to awaken into Chaozu and Ginyu. We didn't get any extra sort of step towards that with the last bunch of quest stages that came out. So maybe this one will bring an update to that, and maybe Chaozu will finally get his like TUR, because I believe he's supposed to awaken into an LR with what we know from his hidden potential setup. So he obviously needs to get a TUR awakening first, and then we'll get his awakening into an LR. And we know that he's going to be Chaozu with somebody else because the unit itself is only on the Time Travelers category. So another character is going to get added at some point along the stage of awakening. The most popular speculation, as we've said, is that it's going to be some sort of like Chaozu and Ginyu, which will be kind of interesting. I don't know, outside of like the Time Travelers, I'm not really sure how many teams they're going to end up being on, so I'm not sure how good that will end up being, but hopefully we get the next stage of that, and then that is it. So just a little bit of a teaser for the upcoming content, bearing in mind that this is released on Tuesday morning UK time, and we were expecting the LR to either come out on Thursday or Friday. I think at this point now it probably is going to be Friday, because with the news coming out, the news got dropped early on Twitter because of the leak from like the Chinese Facebook thing. So what I think should have happened is the news for Turles, like his details that got tweeted out yesterday, should have come out today at the same time as all this stuff. So we got the information of the upcoming content and the teaser for the LR. Then we have the data download tomorrow, and then the unit comes out on Thursday. That's usually how they space these things out, with like Twitter details and then 2 days later. Although recently, with some of these celebrations, there has been a slightly longer delay. The biggest one was the LR Beerus and Weiss, where they tweeted out their details and they didn't come out for like 4 days or something. So unfortunately, until we get the data download, which as I say should be tomorrow, until we get the data download, we don't know exactly when they're going to come out. And of course, the thing that I mentioned right at the start, and then when I started talking about the stages for this, completely forgot to mention, the big thing with the data download is we'll see the missions for this Supreme Magnificent Battle RE, and we will see if they continue the trend like with this one, and the missions don't have an end date. Because obviously when this came out and the missions didn't have an end date, that had the community celebrating like the death of limited time content and Dokkan listening to our feedback and stuff like that. But obviously one thing doesn't prove the change, it's the second thing coming that proves the change. So if this Supreme Magnificent Battle RE doesn't have an end time for missions, then it means that hopefully, again, they could still change it, but hopefully it means limited time content is dead if we see the missions in the data download tomorrow for this stage and they do not have an end date. But again, we won't know that now until the data download happens. So stay tuned, because obviously I will make a video going over the data download details when they happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You're looking forward to the new quest mode. Who do you think the stages will be for this Tree of Might Supreme Magnificent Battle? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. Okay. So now I just need to get that put up straight away. Yeah, sorry, because I was recording the video, so I didn't have the chat up for this one. I also, because I'd already switched over to the view where I was going to record the news video and then got sidetracked with the chat discussion, I didn't have the Twitch chat up, so apologies for that. Because yeah, Little Blue is talking about Life is Strange, which is another example of different stories in the same universe. And Christopher saying, apparently the cube is a physical manifestation of Metatron's cube. Being a reincarnated god in disguise is the theory going around. Interesting. I mean, again, that's the thing. I'm sure there'll be an explanation of some kind, but we just got to wait and see what it is. But people will always obviously have initial theories and jump to conclusions and all that kind of stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out is the main thing, I guess. Right, so upcoming content. New blue zone and quest mode. Stages. This is Beerus. I haven't listened to this properly. This is Beerus's intro in Beerus. I need to make the thumbnail quickly. So put that up there, put that there, that could go there. Put some text over the top. Content incoming. Right, so save that. Do, 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 do. Alright, so as it's that, we've gotten to the end of the stream. Like I said, I meant to make the news video a lot earlier, and then got sidetracked with the big gaming discussion. But, you know, it was fun. Probably slightly mistimed for the stream for what I was trying to do, but hey, we've had all sorts of random off-topic conversations and stuff on the streams before. It's fun to get into because, you know, whilst most of us are here for Dokkan stuff, or especially for these streams, like, obviously there is the huge crossover. We're all into gaming, so we've had various different gaming discussions in the past. Probably shouldn't have got sidetracked with it for as long as I did, but, you know, it is what it is. Right, so that video should go up straight away. Make sure you guys go check that out. Even though obviously we just recorded it, so you guys were just here for it, but go check it out so you can get those early views and everything, so that hopefully YouTube will push it in the algorithm, considering it's went up slightly later than if I just got it recorded straight away and put it straight up. So do go check that out. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back. No late stream tonight. So I'll be back tomorrow for Bond on the late stream on the second channel. No early stream tomorrow, but obviously I will be up for if there is news, if there is a data download I will do a video covering that. But yeah, good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Join the Discord if you want to join the community. You can always continue discussing over there if you want to have chats in the Discord. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.